starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is once again another Sunday and big weekend going on here. If you're a football fan, big time games going on, and a lot of stuff going on within the realm of professional wrestling as well. And man, I gotta tell you, we're hitting that stride right now. We are on the cusp of the holidays. Christmas is this week, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy to think about that this week is Christmas. And man, listen, I hope you guys got all your shopping done. I've got most of mine done. Still got a few things I got to pick up. But, you know, we just keep rolling and we keep moving. But in the wrestling world, things are moving. And we've had a lot of taping situations going on. Because, you know, one thing that I enjoy that WWE's been doing in the last few years under the Triple H regime is giving the talents holidays off and giving them opportunities to be with their families. So that's really great. We're going to talk about that and a lot of big things that happened in those tapings. And joining me as he does every week, he's the producer of the show. He's the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? Are you a chaos goblin? I'm glad you're here. And thank you, all of the household members who join us every Sunday when we do a house party. You're going to see a few new things happening when we discuss topics and things like that. So stay tuned for that fun, and it's only going to get better from here.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. A lot of cool things that Voice has stumbled across, being the producer of the show and putting in the work that he does to help enhance the show and make it even better as we're leading into March. Of course, the Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis. But that is then, and this is now. And man, we had some happenings go down going into these tapings, where there have been situations like Thea Hale becoming the women's North American champion on a botch. They had to kind of redo some things leading up to the tapings, and like that's an unideal situation to be in. But as I'm gauging now, I feel like that most people, especially internally within WWE, feel like that the referee who counted to 3 on the Thea Hale and Blake Monroe match made the right decision. I agree. I think he made the right decision. When stuff like that happens, you got to be prepared to adjust. It's professional wrestling. It's constantly adjusting. So you got to be able to roll with the punches when stuff like that happens. But man, we have things that are happening in those tapings that I want to talk about. And before we get into that, if you are joining us now and you are the type of person that likes to wait till you get there, you are in the moment type of person. When I say you're in the moment type of person, I mean you don't like spoilers. As much as I want your listen, as much as I want you guys to ride with us and rock with us on this journey, if you don't like spoilers, you got to turn this podcast off. I'm just letting you know right now, this is a fair warning. This is not spoiler free. We are talking about what has been happening in professional wrestling, and just giving you a fair warning now. So big things, man. I got to tell you, we're seeing young talent get pushed, young talent get opportunities. They did the tapings for tomorrow's Monday Night Raw, and we saw a new look from Austin Theory. It looks like he's going to be tag teaming up with Bronson Reed as he's either Vision or Vision adjacent. So before we talk about the look, and I'm going to find it and bring it up now, I want to ask you because I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it. And how did you feel when the timing and the way that they did the reveal for Austin Theory this past Monday night on Raw?
I thought it was I thought it was okay. I wanted the timing to be later. I could have used a couple more weeks of run-ins and questioning who it is. It would have been something that would have kept us looking during these holidays. But maybe
Cliffhanger, bro.
they just wanted to get it out there. I could see that. And who it was, we've talked about it before. We're all happy that this is who they've decided to go with on it. I mean, there was a lot of speculations. I was throwing it out there. It was Jericho.
Yeah,
And they were
we had
using
fun with it, bro. We had fun with it.
yeah. But where it actually landed, I'm excited for because talent coming forward and becoming something to talk about, something to witness, and
Yeah.
Austin Theory under the right tutelage and the right writing can be that dynamic feature that we all want. And the villain, and I think I really think he's learned how to really take this the heel image, the heel persona, and make it his own. So I'm excited to see that because the one guy who did that before him, Seth freaking Rollins, changed the whole heel game. And I'm always excited for that.
Yeah. I I enjoy the new look, man. I gotta say, I enjoy the new look. I enjoy the fact that Austin Theory has the opportunity to be just another Paul Heyman guy. I never saw this coming a year ago, bro. I never thought, especially the way they were booking Austin Theory, which was so bad. Like
Yeah,
the stuff with him and Grayson Waller, and then how long they drew it out, and then there was no payoff to him and Grayson Waller. And then this is a kid who's a former In Your House guest, by the way, former In Your House guest, Austin Theory. We got him before he signed with WWE. It was literally weeks before he signed with the company when I got a chance to talk to him. And I got to tell you, he gets it. He understands it. The mishandled is so confusing, and it's wild because like Austin Theory, he's not like a lingering name, like when people talk about CM Punk, like his name lingers in people, and that you feel a certain type of way, people feel a certain type of way. I think Austin Theory has all the tools, but I don't think right now Austin Theory is one of those guys when his name comes up you feel a certain type of way. But I think that with the way that they're going to be presenting him now, I think that he's in position for Austin Theory to become a person that when you say his name it makes you feel a certain type of way.
no, I agree with you on that one. And he's going to work really hard to get you to feel exactly what House is saying. Because right now, his fans who know him and see his progression, we feel that way. But you got to get mainstream and the rest of the crowd behind you.
Yep.
And Paul Heyman is a great tool to do that. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was great. I want to ask you now. I just pulled it up for yourself and the household to look at. There's his new look right there. Voice on just looking at it, seeing the visual. What's your thoughts on Austin Theory's new gear? He's somebody who usually wore like the short trunks, like the thigh high like trunks, and had that more like generic that generic indie wrestler type feel to him when he wrestled. This is a new look. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's working for him. I mean, w- in my eyes, he plays a mercenary in this situation because they
Ooh,
had to
okay.
go out and get him. And I mean, he's dressed like it too. I mean, he's following the Seth Rollins heel. clothing right
Yeah.
there. I mean, it's very Seth, but again, it's his own thing too. But yeah, that's how I'm seeing him. He's a mercenary. He's dressed like a mercenary. They had to get him to come out, you know, uh, in all black before he was introduced as the guy, and he was doing mercenary type shit, taking out the ops. I don't know. I like it. I think they can roll with this. And what I like the most is that bottom corner shot of who's looking up at him. Because when you have that, that's the perfect guy to have in your corner.
Oh
When
yeah.
that
You
guy
have
is
Heyman in your
seeing,
corner. Yep.
when he's seeing something in you and willing to put in the time and effort, Austin Theory, do exactly what you've done this past year to make me like you. I do like him. I did like him and Grayson Waller together. I thought they were great. I liked their energy. They fed off of each other.
Hmm.
Um, it was a bromance, but like a fraternity vibe with these two. But
Yeah.
we all graduate, we all grow up, and we have to see what's next. This is what's next for him. Perfect transition for his character to go into a darker heel mentality. So I'm here for it. I think the fans will, in the next year and a half, the fans are going to be they're going to be really behind Austin.
So this now in my mind, as you were talking, and I'm thinking, this is so we hated Roman Reigns, right?
Hmm.
Until he got with Paul Heyman and he figured it out.
Yep.
I'm not necessarily saying that we hated Austin Theory, but it was clear that he hadn't had it figured out. And the commonality with those two is they need more of a tangible why. Why are we doing this? What is my motivation? What's my movement? What is my trajectory? When you have somebody like Heyman in your corner, he makes more clear what is your movement, what's your
Hmm.
trajectory, what is your ceiling, where can you go, how far can we take this? And I think that everybody, remember, Austin Theory is a guy that Mr. McMahon himself, before being forced to retire, would be on screen with him, on camera with him to put this guy over. Let's not forget Austin Theory had a United States Championship match against John Cena where he walked in the champion and walked out the champion against John Cena at WrestleMania. You know, he's had moments and they've been trying to figure out. Austin Theory has been a long-term investment, bro. Like, he has been a long-term investment for the company for a long time because they keep trying to reboot him, and maybe this is the final time they have to do it because they've been trying different ways with him because they understand he's hardworking, he's talented, he does things the right way, he's not in the news for being in trouble, anything like that. When he's on TV, when he's not on TV, you just like, whoa, I forgot about Austin Theory until he's back on TV again. This is a low risk, high reward type of kid. You got to go with them. And I think that this is a good opportunity for them to finally align him with somebody with the vision of Heyman and meet that potential that they've seen in him for such a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe some questions were asked internally about, um, is this somebody we really want to invest in? This was a Vince guy, but if a boss hires somebody in and then the boss is gone, and not the boss anymore, you either get rid of them or you figure out why you would keep them in your promotion. And I think
Yeah.
that's where we're at right now. I think they planned for this to to happen at some point. Everybody's been saying ever since they even started the formation of the vision there needed to be a fourth,
Mm-hmm.
because
Always
it
been
makes
good.
more sense. You need that main event guy, the mid Carter, and the tag team. If you're
Yep.
going to have a legit stable, that can touch all aspects of matches being put on any given night. So the fact that we're here with Austin, I'm diving into this theory. I'm the guy here on IYH who loves a good conspiracy theory. You throw that name in there, and I'm all about it. I want to see where he goes with this, and I have high hopes in this young man. I see what he can do, and
Yeah.
I find him entertaining. I'm just hoping that there's a large chunk that also sees what I see.
Yeah, no, for sure. And this is also a kid that's still under 30, still under 30. A lot of time. There's more. He has more time ahead of him than what he has behind him.
Very
And I
true.
think that that is a key component right there for sure. And that's just a great segue to let you guys know, hey, a little bit later on in the episode, myself and the voice will be hitting you guys with a fun little segment that I just put together just on the fly. I was in the gym, I was thinking, and I'm thinking of how we can make this episode great. And when we do the rundown and do the show notes and everything, I'm thinking, I think it's about time we do another top five. And I consider the conversation that's been going on, especially coming off John Cena's tournament and his final match, and the big thing that he highlighted in this whole retirement tour, especially the tournament, is the future. Who is the next? Who is the up and comers that's gonna grab the brass ring? It got me to thinking, with us needing to do another top five episode, and that being the conversation going into 2026, I'm thinking myself and the voice Josh Joseph are going to do a top five wrestlers under 30, our personal favorites. We're not saying who the best is, who's this, who's that. We're talking about who we like, who are on our list, and we made sure to prefix it with, hey, we might have some on the same, on the same. There's a lot more than just 10 out there, a lot more than just 10. So I didn't want to have a point where we were sharing. We have completely different picks. So that's going to be later on in the episode. But yes, just to prefix, as much as we just talked about Theory and how great he was, and he's not even on my list. So I'm just going to get that out of the way right now. We'll get that out of the way. Also, later on in the episode, we are going to hear a word from the number one overall seed going into the IYH fantasy football playoffs. We're going to hear from him a little bit later. That is the Chaos Goblin, Kevin Calloway. He has some words going into. Oh yeah, we always get excited to hear from Kevin Calloway, but he has some words for the rest of the pack, and we're going to definitely see how that goes. I'm not looking good right now. Your Bears won, but I had Jordan Love from the Packers on my on my fantasy league, and he was my starting quarterback, and he went down with a concussion. So now I'm playing from behind, brother. I'm hoping to make a comeback in these playoffs.
Mr. Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care.
It's the beginning of the playoffs, and I am in trouble. But we hear from him once again, Kevin Calloway. But staying with things that's going on as far as the tapings go and young talent getting opportunities, I'm excited to say this, voice. I'm super excited. I know you're going to be excited to hear it. Okay, stick with me, all right? I'm building it here. For the last year and a half, we have championed this young man. You did a deep dive into his best of 7 series against Andrade. We have been talking about this kid for well over a year. And on top of that, I remember it was around this time last year on an episode of In Your House, more likely a Sunday, we put our flag in the ground that in the next year, Carmelo Hayes is going to touch United States Championship gold. When we talked about this, we did not say World Championship. We didn't say Intercontinental Championship. We didn't say tag teams. We said specifically that Carmelo Hayes is going to touch United States Championship gold. That title just fits him, suits him like a glove. It reminds me of He reminds me of this generation's version of MVP back in the Ruthless Aggression era when he was feuding with like Matt Hardy and he held the United States Championship. That's who I see. He's that cool mid card character that people can get behind. And finally, now during these tapings, once again, this is not spoiler. We're spoiling. All right, it's not spoiler free. All right, and that is the fact that Carmelo Hayes defeated Ilya Dragunov to become the new United States champion. It is finally happened. There we celebrate. It's beautiful. And I hope he got fireworks at the damn show too. I'm gonna be mad if he doesn't.
Yeah.
That's happening. That's happening next week on SmackDown. And man, I gotta see how it happens. I'm gonna watch it to see it. I usually I'm not into tape shows, but when you have something like that, especially something that we have grasped onto for over a year, I gotta watch the moment happen live. So I'm definitely gonna watch SmackDown to check that out and how it happened and the celebration and everything. All right, voice, we are here. Carmelo Hayes, United States champion. What do you think?
I absolutely love this. This is a fantastic thing. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Like you said, we find him very compelling in the United States uh, world title or United States title picture, because him as a champion brings forth what we like about him to a main stage, because he's going to be able to have those moments where it's just him in the ring talking to the fans like we get every champion. And I think he's going to play over very well to a lot of the naysayers, because there are naysayers, because he's the unknown. We don't know how
What is his true upside?
Yeah, exactly. Like, where do we get from here with Carmelo? How does he get to the next level after
Yep.
obtaining this level? And for me, it's exactly what got him to this level. Every time you have a match, a moment in front of that camera, you take those 5 minutes and you run with it. Yes, was there a spot when he first transitioned over to the main roster where it was a little hit or miss with his moments? Yes, I'm here to be one of the people to say most definitely. But he kept going. He moved forward. He linked
That's
up
so
with
good.
specific guys and kept his name interesting. With this rub from the John Cena tournament and all those things,
Really
uh,
helped him.
it really helped him to the point to where we have a spoiler. I hate the spoiler because I want to see it live. I
I
want to
know.
see it happen. But we live in a day and age where that happens.
It's all out there, bro. It's already all out there. Like, if it wasn't
Exactly.
so already publicly put out there, I'd be like, bro, let's just wait a week and let's talk about it then.
Yeah.
But it's so publicly out there. Everybody knows, everybody's seen it. And yeah, I just hope, because there's some people, and I'm just like, come on, there's some communities that's like, oh, we're not about to do this. We're not about to disrespect Carmelo Hayes by having him win the title on a taped show. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. He had his moment. Shut up. It's what he's gonna become. That brings me to my next point, because we're about to see the best of Carmelo Hayes. Because in my personal opinion, watching Carmelo Hayes in NXT, Carmelo Hayes is a better character when he's a champion. His character is better when he is a champion, because he's a little bit cockier. He's gonna say, "Oh, I could definitely see him saying, hey, I'm Carmelo Hayes. I'm the United States champion. I'm the best champion on this show."
And I would love it. Honestly, House, and this is no disrespect to anybody out there, so please don't take my next statement to be anything like that. But I see Carmelo as a Black Ric Flair. Him as a champion gives me
Yeah,
that energy. Like, imagine if Ric Flair never held a world title but was out there just chirping away.
yeah.
It would make no sense.
It'd
But
be stupid.
now that he's got a title, much like you said, how Carmelo's character comes across the best is when he has a title. Now that he has a title, we get to see that flashiness. We get to
Yep.
see him turn it up a little bit. And
Yep.
honestly, that's where I fall into my Ric Flairisms with him, because he can turn it up. He can look you in the eye through the camera and make you believe that what he's about to do is going to be something you want to fucking record, because you're going to be telling your friends, you're going to be sharing it on social media. Carmelo Hayes is not no slouch in the ring. The kid works
No.
his ass off anytime that he gets his opportunity. And this is proof of it. It took a year, but we planted our flag a year ago and we said this kid will be in this position next year. Everybody out there who I know follows us, I've seen you in the Discord, I've seen you say things about it before, and that's fine. But facts are facts, and that's where we're at right now. He gets this on a taped show. Okay, that does suck, but who gives a fuck? Because now he gets a whole week off with his family as the United States champion.
Do you think he cares it was on a tape show?
Not one goddamn bit, because
Do you
guess what,
think he
House?
cares?
That check cashes just the fucking same as if it was a tape show or an
And you
untaped
just
show.
exactly, and you just said it. Bro gets a whole week to spend with his family and celebrate like, "Oh yeah, I'm the United States champion. I finally hit my first major, main roster accomplishment. Now I get to bathe in that going into Christmas with my family, my fiance." Oh, he don't care that it was on a tape show, bro. This dude is living his life. It's all good. I bet it's all good in the world of Carmelo Hayes. Man, just let it happen, because I think that this cat is about to have a hell of a United States Championship run, and it's blowing my mind. It's just helping legitimize him, because he's the one who beat a great reign, not a long reign, but a great reign from Ilya Dragunov. Bro, they are finally seeing what we've seen in Carmelo Hayes for a while, and I'm sure they've seen it. It's just like, how do we get there?
Yeah.
This is how. We are there now. We are in that path.
Yeah. Dude, I would love to see, and this is my personal thing with Carmelo, this week, I would love to see him do some tapings, recordings of like him going out to dinner with the United States title.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I think things like that, where he's just doing Carmelo shit, but the title's with him as a
Is
part
there
of
with
him.
him? Yeah.
And then that makes me buy into that. That makes that title, when we talk about titles like this that we love, because fans, if I could take it out of its case and everything, I have a WCW World's United States title right here, signed
Oh,
by
beautiful
so
title.
many amazing guys who held this title. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my most beloved titles that I loved in wrestling. And now that Carmelo has it, I can see potential of how it was back then, how they took pride in it. And you always
Yeah.
talk about, we need to make titles important again. And this is a start with that, because Carmelo, with this title, there's only fun and good matches that are going to be put on to defend this title and to get this title. And I am fucking here for it. This is
Yeah.
how you make shows 3 hours. This is how you do this.
Yep.
When you add
That's a great
excitement.
point. When you add stuff like that,
Dude.
when you make things happen like that, and you give opportunities to talent that we've been saying, like, hey, it's time. We got to see what's on the next level for this talent. You know what I'm saying? And we're getting there with guys like Austin Theory. We're getting there with guys like Carmelo Hayes. Lash Legend is in that mix. It's time we start investing in the young talent, and I love the fact that we are right there on the cusp
Did it
of it.
real quick? Didn't
Yeah,
Lash
yeah.
and Naya, didn't they just beat the Kabuki Warriors? It wasn't for a
It was
title,
on the
but
taping. Yeah, it wasn't for
yeah,
the title, but yeah,
yeah.
that was at the taping as well.
So listen to just that fact. That's on the taping as well. So not only are you getting Carmelo winning this title, but you're getting Lash and Naya beating the Kabuki Warrior. That's a big thing. You
Yeah.
don't just beat them. That's not
And
something.
they're really good. They're really good. They're the champions right now. They're the top of a division that is one of the hottest divisions in wrestling right now. I'm that day. Notice I said not in WWE. It's the one
Nope.
of the hottest divisions in wrestling right now. Women's tag team wrestling. Bro, I never thought I'd say that. It's so wonderful to say that because I
Yeah.
love women's wrestling and I love tag team wrestling. And 2 years ago, that division was cursed. It was cursed. And now it's the hottest division in wrestling on both circuits right now, both major
Yep.
American circuits, on WWE, on AEW, and guess what? The Kabuki Warriors are on the very top of that, so beating them is no joke.
No, it's not. And again, it shows WWE is looking more towards the future and
Yep.
who's making a splash. We've been talking about Lash. Um, she's a phenom, and I'm so excited to see uh, what this next year brings for that young lady. Um, so I'm looking forward to this. Where we're at in women's tag team, where Carmelo's at. This taping sounds like it was fucking phenomenal.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it when it finally comes out. But yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good for SmackDown.
Yeah, it's trending in the right direction. Like you said, you made that point. Moving into 3 hours, how are we gonna be compelling? We got to figure it out. So
Hmm.
we're gonna keep an eye on that. We do have a little AEW coverage that we're gonna do because we're gonna continue covering some of the Continental Classic. But hey, before we get to that, I wanted to bring this up because this just past weekend was legendary. My first favorite wrestler, Sting, the Stinger, bro. It was his final appearance in the iconic face paint. He did his final signing, his final public appearance in the face paint. He's retiring the face paint, bro. It's done. It's over. He will not put that paint on his face again. And I got to tell you, bro, I know we're talking about the future. I know we're talking about who's next. That's been the big conversation as far as what we've been talking about here on In Your House, on the major circuits, on the indie circuits. We keep an eye on all of it. But also, we're old school wrestling fans, bro.
Hmm.
And like, even talking about it right now, I can feel the goosebumps on that man, that legend, that hero is retiring the face paint. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's huge. All juggalos have to take the face paint off every once in a while, and Sting is he's ending it, which I, you know, it's going to be unique. Um,
I respect it, bro. I respect the way he's going out.
yeah, and it's weird because before him there was Kiss was the only other people that painted their faces that I knew their fan base wanted to see their faces.
Yeah.
Like they just had to. Sting was a little he was kind of that way, but I mean it he always had such matches where most of it came off anyways.
Oh, yeah,
You've
you
seen his
seen
face.
it.
Yeah, yeah. But this
That
is a
boy was
new
working
era.
that face paint off.
Oh, dude, yeah. But he's been doing this for quite a long time, putting the paint on
Fantastic,
every day.
incredible pro wrestler.
Yeah, and then we went to Crow Sting, where he did Whiteface. Being white, it was kind of weird. But we also had Wolfpack Sting.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
that was a rare era, bro.
That was a very rare era, but it was an era
Yes, it
nonetheless.
was. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, it was unique. Um, you know,
Stinger, baby.
yeah, I will say that Sting has always been somebody, especially if you were really into wrestling and the WCW days. He was the savior of WCW. You
Yes,
you
man.
waited for Sting to come out and dish out justice that needed to be dished out. He's an epic figure in wrestling. Um, but I can understand wanting to take the face paint off, going to these signings. Maybe you just want people to see you for what's under the face paint. And
Sure.
he can still be Sting. It's just not going to be face painted. I mean, come on, man. Like, the dude doesn't want to put it on anymore.
No, and that's his right. That's his right. That's for sure his right. It's just as a fan, as somebody who grew up watching him, it's just it's the end of an era. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? That's
100%.
it's the end of an era. It is absolutely 100% his right to take that face paint off. It just for me represents the end of an era. But
Oh yeah.
it it's man, it's just crazy to think about it, man. But I've always been a fan of Sting, everything that he's done. So to see him like going out the way that he wants to, I just think it's cool, man. It's a cool trend to see these wrestlers going out on their own accord and going out respectfully. Because, bro, the wrestlers that were retiring and finishing up when we were kids, when we were growing up, bro, they were wrestling until they were dead, bro. They were destroying their
Wow.
legacies. Heroes that we thought were legends ended up being pieces of shit. So it's
Or
good to
shitting
see,
themselves in a bar.
or shitting themselves in a bar, or just man, like it's just good to be in an era where it seems like these wrestlers are going out with respect
Yeah.
and dignity, and like we can smile upon them and not be like, man, yeah, he was great in the ring, but he was a real piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can agree with you. There's been, I mean, eras, there's different eras that we've had in wrestling and different ways that guys did the business. It always changes. Uh and fortunately we've gotten to the point where we've seen witness like John Cena's retirement, the Dudley's retirement.
Mm-hmm.
It goes
Mm-hmm.
out with a respectful way, where the fans who, even if you disliked them, you for that moment you respected them for what they've done in their career. Because without the Dudleys, the Hardy Boys don't go as hard in their career. Much like Edge and Christian, things like that. Uh, so I'm glad that we're here at this moment, because it really cared for some of these guys.
Him retiring his iconic face paint for the final time, but now we're going to continue our coverage on the Continental Classic. And I got to tell you, I enjoy what they did on this episode of Collision. It was fun. Bruzy is in the chat. What is up, brother? We appreciate you coming through. And okay, you are Chris. All right, so now we know your real name now.
Oh, now we got Bruzy.
We got you
Got
now,
him in the
Bruzy.
scope.
We got you, Bruzy. But this collision was a really good episode because there was a couple of things that I feel came from it. Specifically, it was the fact that Kevin Knight, somebody who I got a chance to watch wrestle in person a few weeks ago at the Fisher show that I got to attend. He went up against one of my personal favorites, Kyle Fletcher. Hint, hint. And he got a shocking victory over Okada, and I loved it. It was a good match. I checked it out, back and forth action. I gotta say, I'm loving Okada in AEW. He is such a
Yeah.
heel, and he plays a great heel. I enjoy what he is doing quite a bit. And then titles, just like in a way what Mercedes Moné is doing. I see the clearly there's about to be a descent into madness with her losing all these titles. They're slow building to it. Man, it's just great stuff. The Continental Classic is moving on and doing good stuff. I'm enjoying it, bro. Where are you at right now? Once again, I got a chance to catch the highlights. Kevin Knight moves on and gets big points, big upset there, and so much more. Where are you at with the Continental Classic right now?
I like the Continental Classic. It reminds me, the base of it reminds me of Survivor Series,
Yeah.
but with additions, with it being a tournament, with it going so long, with there being a point system. You get
Yeah.
that every night. You get you get to the point to where you get these moments where Okada gets an upset from a young up and comer. But Okada is
Yeah.
also building this brand of Okada to where we're becoming fans of him. And again, much like I said about Seth
Oh
Rollins,
yeah.
the heel, the different view from a heel, we're getting that from Okada, and I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
big fan of this tournament. The the fact that we get all these amazing matches that you may not have thought you wanted, but once it happens, you're absolutely thrilled it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. In my mind, it's giving the mindset that anything could happen on any night, and uh, that is when you make this show more enjoyable. You know, when Kevin Knight can get a victory over Okada, one where Alex Windsor defeats Mercedes Moné to win the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Championship and continue the story of Mercedes Moné. You know, you even had Jungle Jack Perry defeat Speedball Mike Bailey and gain some points in the.
I think they have done the dick biting spot.
Have they?
I'm almost certain that they've done it with somebody.
I would like to see when.
I'm gonna research that.
Yeah, look into that. I gotta say this. I've been to both a WWE and a AEW show, and bro, the crowds are completely different, bro. Completely different. Listen, Bruce, you said we aren't talking about behind the scenes voice.
I think Goldust did it to somebody, but I'm
Oh my
looking it up.
god. That is crazy, but listen, the crowds are so different, bro. It is
Oh, they
almost like
are.
night. Yeah, it's like night and day seeing that situation. But I enjoyed the show. I enjoy what they're putting out. To me, it really does feel like that AEW is investing in their own talent and kind of minding their own business like they need to right now. I can appreciate that because you got a rare window of opportunity right now to make things really, really great and really, gain that viewing. Gain that
I
viewing.
Yeah, I was wrong, guys. So there's never been the dick biting spot. There's been dick grabbing and things like that, but never the biting. And then out of nowhere, it brought up the Macho Man and Jake the snake biting incident. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
You're like,
Why
where are
would
we
they
at
go
here?
there?
Where are you here?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, all right, all right, guys. We have got an episode to continue here in your house. We talked a little bit of the Continental Classic. We talked about some future investments there in the WWE. I love that we're building towards the next generation. That's the story of 2026. And guys, we're continuing that movement because on the other side of this break, myself and the voice, Josh Joseph, are going to give you our top 5 wrestlers under 30. So we're going to do that. We're going to take that break and come back and give you who is the future of professional wrestling from the views of Howse and the voice, Josh Joseph. That's on the other side of this break. Also, we hear from Kevin Calloway. We'll talk to you in a second.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You want to be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where I YH live. Brainbuster Tees is where I YH live.
In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood.
Emerge faithful for coming out to Emerge 91 Blood and Bone. Since 2019, I have been the executive producer of the In Your House podcast. Since 2021, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. The honor and the privilege to tell all of you, right here in the middle of this ring, that Emerge Wrestling, in collaboration with the In Your House Network, will be at the Squared Circle Expo this March in Indianapolis. Emerge Wrestling is In Your House. We'll see you in March.
Hey, O'Con, in your house. Hollywood, in your house.
Fresh off a new Edge title defense, right here, still champ. Guess what? IYH Fantasy Football League, your boy #1, and he just may get that #1 spot, baby. Ooh, and you go about to see these nuts, and you go brown all over them pants, baby, because the unlimited tendies are still fresh, and they still coming for you.
Welcome back to In Your House, and you guys heard it there. #1 overall seed in the IYH Fantasy Football Draft. Unlimited tendies. Man, I was #1 for so long in this league. Then slipped up midway through the season, took a couple losses, had some injuries. And then out of nowhere, here comes Kevin, who was in the #4 spot, jumps from 4 to 1 out of nowhere. And now he's the #1 overall seed. And now we're in the playoffs here. And man, it is just spades being Kevin right now. Champion in wrestling, champion in fantasy football. He's got it all, bro.
He does. This is incredible, and that was an incredible promo from Kevin.
Yeah, it was.
Rounding all over chicken tendies. He got a lot of drops in there, and we love him. That energy is exactly why people want Kevin in their promotions. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, he is, man. Great character, great energy, and man, I'm keeping track of what's going on this weekend. Your Bears had a big win. They're looking damn good right now, man. I know you're not a huge football follower, but I can say I know you're a Bears fan, and they are kicking ass right now for sure. I was keeping up with some of it while I was there in the gym and getting a really good workout, man. And a lot of that is thanks to Goalie Nutrition, Goalie Gummies. Man, I got our new shipment in. I'm looking at it right over there. I got the sugar-free essentials pack that came in the mail, man, and got a little bit of those sugar-free apple cider vinegars that really got me through my workout today. I went a couple of weeks because I was waiting on the shipment to come here from Goalie, as we're sponsored up with them, and waiting for the shipment to come. It finally came, and I got to tell you, bro, I did truly feel a difference in my workouts from not using Goalie to using Goalie. I felt like I had a lot more energy because of apple cider vinegar. Was able to kind of replenish myself with the ashwagandha gummies, being able to lock in with the Matcha Mind gummies, and it was just a really good workout, man. And you guys can get it popping too. All you got to do is go to goalie.com and check out everything that they are doing, all the gummies they have. Start your wellness journey by going to goalie.com and to check out. Put in promo code IYH for 10% off and let them know that we sent you there, and check out everything we're doing on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and then live on X, and then on Twitch, and then on Facebook Live, and then on YouTube. There's no excuse. You guys should be checking out what we're doing if you are a fan of wrestling. And I got to tell you, myself and my friend here, Voice, are huge fans of wrestling. Shout out to Daniel Garcia over there. Brucey saying, speaking of Chicago, he'll be in Chicago for Christmas, and he's never been to the Midwest before. Oh man, that'd be so. I know you're a few hours away from Chicago, aren't you? Aren't you, Voice? Just not too far.
I'm about 2.5 3 hours from
Okay,
Chicago.
man.
I've had Christmas there. Good luck. Have fun.
I wonder what he's doing out there for Christmas. I'd be
Probably
curious to see.
terrorizing the whole city of Chicago. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, that sounds.
I'm gonna
That
put
sounds
people
like
I know out there on alert that you're coming, Brucey.
Yeah,
So,
that sounds like normal Brucey activity.
yeah,
Like
you're
just
about to
trouble
get
wherever he goes.
searched.
We have got our guy over there in Puerto Rico, Daniel Garcia from Puerto Rico. He says, glad Carmelo Hayes won the U.S. title. We are too, brother. That was a great moment, and it's going to be a fun time to see what he does with that U.S. title moving into the future and how he builds from there. But it more forces you to get as our top 5 favorite wrestlers under 30. I'm going to prefix this again because I did earlier in the show. I'm doing it again for y'all. This is not who we think are the top stars. Any of these names that we can say easily could be top stars. This is my favorite. This is Voice's favorite. Our favorite top 5. And there's so much more than just the 5. There's a lot more than that. So we could put our list together and we said, hey, we do not want to have matching guys on this list. There's some guys that would be on your list that would probably be on my list, but we got to compare notes here and we got to put it in a spot that where we're highlighting as many as we can because like Brucey said, the ones with the most growth potential, that's definitely something that jumps in there, but mainly our favorite for the reasons that we're going to say. So let's jump right into this because I think this is going to be an interesting segment. You guys out there in the household, Daniel Garcia, Brucey, anybody who might join us later on in the show. Hopefully OG Tony, because I would love to get OG Tony's thoughts on it as well if he joins the chat. Who's your guys' top 5 wrestlers under 30? High upside, your favorites who you like to see? Let's start with the Voice, Josh Joseph. He's got a little something different for us as we're moving into it. Once again, guys, this is no particular order, just top 5. Voice, who's on your list at number 5?
All right, so for me, I'm gonna have to shoot with this young man. I liked his father. I think he's fantastic, and I think there's actual big upside to him. Like he has a lot of potential, and I'm so looking forward to what these next few years bring together for this young man. Here he is. He's known as Hook. There he is. Look at all the beef that is Hook.
All the hookiness that is Hook.
Dude, tell me he's not a wrestler looking dude. Like, you know his dad, you know what he can do. I think that there's a lot of potential that we're going to see with Hook. And I think he's going to be a big player for AEW coming up.
I agree. I got to tell you, as much as we've been watching more AEW lately, I have really enjoyed the fact that we've seen him talk a little bit more on the mic. Because listening to him on the mic, I'm like, oh wait a minute, Hook. You kind of got a little bit of chops there. Like, you got something. And like, when you add with his look he already has, the fact that he's partnered up with somebody like Samoa Joe who's going to take damn good care of him and get him. Because this is the whole point of the ops is just like, this street tough type mafia, that's stoic and cool and like, just like that, but has that hood. Him together makes a lot of sense, and I think that him working with Samoa Joe makes a lot of sense. His promos are getting better. I love that pick. Hook is somebody who definitely has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of what Hook has. So, okay, I'll go into my number 5, and I got to tell you, this is a young lady that I have had on my radar for quite a while, but she really took her moment there at Cena's last match. She defeated Bayley, and she was simultaneously the women's speed champion. At the same time, she was the women's North American champion. So Ruka is on my list. I am a huge fan of everything that So Ruka is doing, and I think that her trajectory is going to go even further, higher heights that she's going to be able to touch coming out of Cena's last match, and I think in my mind, let's just quit playing games. It's time to call Sol Ruka up and let her journey on SmackDown begin as they're going into that 3-hour show.
Totally agree with you. Sol Ruka, she impressed me with that match at the Saturday night's main event against Bayley. She showed to me, she showed the rest of you who've been doubting her or questioning what the fuck, why she's there, why exactly she is there, and why she's in the position she's in. Sol Ruka, bring her up. I want to see it now.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I enjoy this youth movement that we have. We gotta start thinking about the kids under 20, or the kids under 30, that is, and we gotta start putting them in positions to become stars. So that way, when you have, as Voice called it weeks ago, a mass exodus of talent leaving, you're not crippled. Your promotion is not crippled. You got to invest in your young talent, and I think that needs to be the running theme going into the new year. We're going to be talking about it here at In Your House, and that leads me back to my man, the Voice, Josh Joseph, who's number 4 on your list, my brother.
All right, so fans, this one I had to look into some research. Coming in at 29, she did make under the list, but she's had a very up and down last few months with her husband having a stroke and things like that, taking him out of wrestling for the moment. Hopefully there's some way to get him back, but she is a phenom, and I cannot wait for her to be fully in the ring. She is the one, the only Jordynne Grace.
Yes, Big Mama Pump.
Oh man, I can't wait. I've been championing her for quite a while now, and I and her husband John. I would love to see both of them in the WWE, because I think Grisham has just he has so many creative ideas that people need to tap into him and just get them all out.
Man, I got a chance to see him wrestle back in 2017 at Global Wars in Columbus, Ohio. It was one of the favorite shows my favorite shows I ever been to. It was a Ring of Honor, and they were collabing with New Japan Pro Wrestling for a show that had both those talent, because that was heavy in the days when those two were working together independently, New Japan and Ring of Honor. So it was a great show with much great talent for sure. Night of the things that you were speaking of, as far as, like, I think about way back in the day. I'm trying to remember his name. Had a great pounce, a great pounce. And he was in TNA. I believe he was in WCW. It was Monty. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if you remember, but the point is,
Monty Brown?
I think it was Monty Brown. Yes, I believe it was Monty Brown. That's him. Yep, and he had a great pounce, great mic skills over there in TNA. Thank you, Bruzy. Yes, but thank you to both of you. Monty Brown, great moveset, and I compare it to this almost. Not that that's taking her out completely, but it really slowed down the momentum of somebody who had high upside, I believe. And the point in saying that is it's a real thing. Family issues happen.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you have to focus on it. But I think that when Jonathan Grisham is able to fully recover and be all the way good, and she's able to lock in back to her career, listen, Jordynne Grace is an absolute force, and you can't ignore what she brings to the women's division.
Yeah, there's not much you can say after that. You're 100% on that, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, same
all good
here.
things, hopefully.
All good things for sure. There's just so much on this list that feels like really obvious, so I'm gonna flip-flop it here and go to an obvious one, and that is somebody who has been an incredible force in the WWE in my mind, and has built a championship pedigree for himself in NXT, had a great showing. against Cody at the final match. And I think this is somebody you can insert right into the main event picture going into a 3-hour SmackDown because he had a big interaction and held his own with Drew McIntyre. And in my mind, that's Obafemi.
Oh yeah.
Oba, yeah, man, that's a whole lot of man right there, bro. That is a whole lot of man. Obafemi is somebody that I think you can bring him to SmackDown. You told the story. You had Drew McIntyre get in his business right there on a match that is so important to Obafemi. Why would he not be pissed? Why would he not come to SmackDown and be like, you took my moment to make you pay?
Dude.
And I think Obafemi in. He's definitely on my list. Yeah.
It came between him and Jordan, and for me, Oba has a clear path.
Yeah.
Like if they decide to go with exactly what you said, Oba has a clear path to become the big name.
Yep.
So for me, I was saying, Oba already, to me, he's already got that top mark in this whole category.
Sure.
I went with Jordan to tell my fans and the household how I want her to grow. But Oba is such a fucking beast. Like this dude, if you're not capitalizing on everything this guy can bring to a promotion, what the fuck are you doing? Bring him up to the main roster. Have him and Drew just fucking go at it and see what comes out of that. Maybe Drew gets a rub from it, maybe he doesn't, but Oba's definitely going to get that rub, and then run it back with him and Cody. I want to see that match fully. I don't want to see any interruptions. Just give me the full fucking match.
Yeah. No, I love what you're saying there, bro. Love what you were saying there. Obafemi, he was definitely on my list. I love the fact that we're getting a chance to do this again. I wanted to kind of have that conversation about some young talents, and yeah, this is going exactly how I wanted to go. Before we get to number 3, I love the fact that we had some picks there in the chat, man, and getting these guys working. We got Daniel Garcia. He was saying Charlie Dempsey. Bruzy was saying pretty obvious, of course, Rhea Ripley. And I just love that, bro. I love it. I love the fact that our guys in here in the chat are getting interactive. Please keep bringing that energy. We appreciate it and love you guys for it. And Voice, I'm going to give it to you, man. Who's number 3 on your list?
All right, you want to talk about young, you want to talk about exciting, you want to talk about people making fucking marks in the WWE. Let's get motherfucking bouncy. Javon Evans.
Yes,
this young man right here is excitement. This young man is what's going to elevate wrestling for the younger generations to jump on his coattails and jump the fuck up, because he shows you can be the fucking weirdo of the class and still be top in some type of division in wrestling. You can make a name of it because the kid's unique. He's out there. He's speaking the language of the youth, and the youth is what keeps this thing fueled, because you're bringing them up. He's getting huge spots, and his name is being talked about by everybody these past couple weeks. Javon Evans is bouncing. That motherfucker, he's so good.
Yeah, I agree. You have John Cena constantly bringing up his name in interviews. I listened to a little bit of the interview that John Cena did with Cody Rhodes. Man, it was fun to listen to, hearing John Cena post retirement, and he talked about Javon Evans, and that kid is incredible. I love the comparisons that we've made. You specifically said RVD. I specifically said Jeff Hardy, and it's there, bro, because he is the high flying, exciting wrestler that is a vibe, unique in a completely different class of his own. He walks to the beat of his own drum. RVD, Jeff Hardy, Javon Evans. Let's go. Put him on the main roster right now. Yes, at 21 years old. Let's see where it goes, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, he's ready. We know that he can keep a crowd. And when we say the likes of these guys, we're talking like their energy, the way they bring themselves to, like, those. Javon Evans hits those guys' memories with me and Howse, to the fact that we're like, we can't wait for his next match. Like,
Yep.
I'm anticipating what the fuck are they going to do with him next, because I want to see him go up against so many greats. I want to see him go up against the bigs. I don't I don't just want to see him in the smalls, so I'm looking forward to the future for this kid, and it's nothing but bounce.
Yeah, yeah. I love everything that this kid is doing. Super talented, excited for his future. Hey, did I ever tell you for some reason he follows me on X?
No shit.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why he follows me on X, but he does. So, yeah. Hey, Javon Evans,
Hey,
you follow
man,
me on X, and I
we
follow
follow
you.
you.
We're
We-
friends. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Oh man, I
Don't
love
get
me some
mad. I
Javon
called you
Evans.
weird. I like weird. We're weird.
I was gonna say weird is a good thing around here, man. So
We're,
it's
we're
all
real
love.
weird here.
We love it, bro. So yeah, Javon Evans, great pick. I love it. That's gonna take it to mine number 3, and we talked about it as we were putting our list together because we were doing the show notes before we went on the air, and a lot of different cool things. Like you guys are seeing the photos of the wrestlers coming in. This is all stuff that Voice has been able to find on our program. So to enhance the video experience, so that's great. But I went back and forth because you had Bruzy saying Rhea Ripley. Obviously, I mean, let me just say this real quick. Rhea Ripley isn't on my list because she just fell short because of this one that I'm about to say. But I do want to acknowledge Rhea Ripley, and I want to be completely and totally clear about this. Rhea Ripley is a top star. She is 29 years old. She is one of the faces of WWE. She is going to have here's the thing, with all the stuff that she's done, being a multi-time champion, face of the company, developing into a mainstream star by doing stuff with like Terrifier and stuff. Bro, she's both. She's both the now and the future.
Yeah.
She's both at the same time.
Well-
like she's already been wrestling for so long that she's putting over other talent. Like she's established. She's an established star.
There you go. There you go. Established. She's already outranked everybody in this list last year with what she's done. And
Yeah.
that's no slight to anybody on this
Not
list.
at all.
The reason is Rhea has made herself undeniable. So
Yep.
in that sense, she's already accomplished what some of these people on this list are still trying to do. And
Yeah.
and unfortunately, a good majority of them will never do what Rhea does or has done or will do. Because
Yep.
here's the fact of the matter. Rhea's at a level of her career that if she stopped everything and then decided
Easy Hall of
to get a house out in Australia, live her life, just be her and only do appearances, she's going to make money forever. Like she's going to be fine. But her legend, the desire for Rhea will still be there. So where she's at right now, I love the fact that she's capitalizing on it. But in this list, she's already reached so much that it was kind of like, that was my weighing option with her. And she's going into a whole new bag of hers, tag team. She's going to be a tag team with Io, or has been. So she seems to be focusing on that. Rhea is accomplished so fucking much in her young life.
Yeah. No, you're so right. Absolutely right. So yeah, she is definitely deserves to be on this list, but we kept her off respectfully. And for that reason, I'm gonna say another one, and this is gonna feel obvious too, but Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio is still got
Look at
so
that guy.
much career. Love it, man. He's got so much career ahead of him. He's having matches with the greats, whether it be his father, Rey Mysterio, one of the final opponents of John Cena in his retirement tour, already now a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. He elicits a response from everybody. He deserves to be on this list. And here's the thing, he's got a lot of time left, and he already works like he's a veteran. It's going to be crazy to see Dominic Mysterio in 10 years, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the biggest things I really respect about Dominic Mysterio is he's been able to separate his name from his father's name, and we don't talk about Ray's son. We talk about Dominic. Much like I think it was easier for Braun Breaker to come through because his dad although in certain circles is a fucking legend and icon. The Steiner brothers were phenomenal. In other circles, they don't even know about the Steiners. You know,
Hell,
so
when you think Steiner, you think Big Papa Pump most of the time.
exactly. So I think Breaker had an easier path because he didn't really have his dad's name associated with him. Dominic had to shed that skin and become his own. Not saying Braun Breaker didn't have to become his own character
Sure.
or his own being,
To
but
add, I feel like to add to what you're saying,
yeah, go ahead.
and then I'll let you finish. Rey Mysterio, the most recognizable mask, one of the most famous luchadors of all time. That's a lot harder to have to shed that skin.
Tag team to destroy tag teams over there, and I fucking loved everything you guys did. But that being said, facts are facts. Rey Mysterio is one of the most recognized luchadors to ever do it. He is also one of the biggest WWE superstars to ever do it. Rey
Yep.
Mysterio is known from pillar to post, from pole to pole. The dude's
Coast to
known.
coast, yep.
Exactly. So Dominic Mysterio has had a harder path to shed that. Look at what we're talking now. We are not talking Ray's son. We are talking Dominic Mysterio on his own. That is something to look at when we look at Hall of Fame talks when it comes to this young man. In my opinion, I
agree.
People can tell me to fuck off. That's
For
perfectly
sure.
fine.
But that's your opinion, though. That's your opinion, and it's your right to have it, and this is our platform, so we're going to say what we want to say.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's our platform to say what we want to say. So I love it. Dom Mysterio's on my list. I thoroughly enjoy what that kid is doing. Super damn talented. The future is looking bright. And I'm going to throw it to you, man. Number 2, who's on your list?
You know, I could play producer and go with the obvious thing would be next for one of my picks, but I'm not, because I'm Randy Johnson, and that dove just came right in my line of sight, and I'm going to take it out with a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, and I'm going to throw this young lady's name out to you guys. Here she is. I'm just going to show the picture. It's Lyra.
Wow.
That is my next pick. Bird Lady
Wow.
herself. I am going to say this, my friends. If you are a fan of IYH and you have heard me speak, I have been very, very critical of her.
Yep.
Very critical.
That's why I'm shocked.
I'm here today. She can buy beer in my store all day long because she has grown so much with all the feuds, everything that she's been with, doing the Bailey stuff. Being in Bailey's orbit, in my opinion, has elevated Lyra to the points that I'm putting her on my list. I had so many other people to choose from. I had so many other women to choose from. But I'm choosing this because this is what this show's about. I am going to praise, critique, say what I need to get fans to notice you. And here we are. You are one of the most recognized women out there. Anytime your music hits, fans pop. You are doing what you're doing, and I applaud you. Thank you for making me eat my words and proving me wrong. Now, Ivy Nile, take notes. Simple as that. I don't know how to dumb it down more for you as a meathead. So take notes, get notepad, chisel into notes, do more 5 minutes in front camera. There you go, Ivy.
Easy enough, bro. Easy enough. I think, I agree. I mean, I don't need to go into a whole diatribe. No. You know that I agree.
Yeah,
as far as that goes. But yeah, I like that. I like that pick. Lyra's somebody who, I mean, I've had my eye on her for a while. Yeah. I've said many times on this show, you could never make me hate my bird lady, because I saw that she's unhardened clay. She needed to be shaped and molded and made, given reason, a why, and so for so long Lyra Valkyrie was putting on great matches, but she didn't have a why. She was the first ever women's Intercontinental Champion, and even after that she still didn't have a why. When she started getting involved with veterans like Becky Lynch, like Bailey, they started making her understand you gotta have a why. And that's why Lyra has developed and ascended into the character that she is now, because we see her being a little bit more, not so mechanical. She's
Yeah.
finding her personality. She's figuring out who she is, and that matters. And somebody who's already in her 20s and an above average wrestler. She's an overseas wrestler, and I can tell you for a fact, a lot of those kids, they start wrestling at like 13, 14 years old. They're wrestling young over there overseas, bro. So by the time they're 25 years old, they've been wrestling for 10 years. They're veterans, bro. But sometimes when you're getting all those bumps in, getting those reps in the indies over there in the UK, one thing you forget about that is important, especially in American style wrestling, if you want to come over here and wrestle with us Americans, you got to tell us a story, and we can show you how to tell a story and give you some psychology. And I think that's exactly where Lyra Valkyria is that she's finally figured out psychology. She's finally figured out
For your turn, because I think when you get that heel level under you, you're going to get up in that levels of talked about one of the greats. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And we continue that conversation as far as these overseas wrestlers, how hard they work, but how they got to figure out how to find themselves. And that leads me to my number two. And I've been watching this kid for a little while now. Finally got a chance to see him in person in Fishers, Indiana, there for the Continental Classic. And I'm telling you, bro, this kid is a star. In so many ways, he reminds me of different talents, taken from Will Ospreay, taken from Randy Orton. So much, just a great young competitor. And that's the proto star, Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, I enjoy what this kid is doing. Look at his look right there in that little snippet. The whole pink look, the fact that he owns pink, the fact that he owns that this is his look, and he has a very unique look. On top of the fact that he has somebody like Don Callis speaking for him, giving him his why, so that way this young man can focus on the moves in wrestling. And one thing I can say about Kyle Fletcher, there's not many I can compare to Randy Orton, and you can say that, oh yeah, he looks like Randy Orton. His physique looks like Randy Orton. He's bald like 2009 Randy Orton. But what I can say for sure is that this kid at his young age is smooth in the ring like Randy Orton. He just floats around that ring, bro. He's so smooth, and it's once in a lifetime to be able to see somebody move like that with such psychology. Plays the heel role to a T. Does a really good job of slithering and moving around that ring and just being methodical at a pace, but still being able to go to that next level, to have that fast-paced action that's demanded in the AEW ring, where it's move for move for move for move, bang, 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 bang. He's able to keep up with it. Kyle Fletcher is the future of AEW, and I really appreciate what that kid does. He's on my list.
Oh, and as he should be. This young man, you liken him to Randy Orton. He is definitely AEW's Viper. The kid is very smooth in the ring, and he's unique in the way that he doesn't have to give you too much of a character quite yet. He doesn't have to give you all
Not
that.
yet.
And he's put in a position where Don takes a majority of that role, which is good, and it could be detrimental. But I feel that the way Kyle is in the ring, he's a very smart individual who understands the game, and he understands if somebody like Cyrus the Virus is telling you something, there's a good chance you should listen, because he is in likings of tutelage under Paul Heyman. I mean, I know a lot of you guys out there call him Don Callis, and that's great, but he will always be Cyrus the Virus. What he's doing in this Don Callis gimmick is Cyrus, but just turned up. And no hair. So I applaud this. I love Kyle. I think he is the future of AEW, and I think that they should really focus on keeping him happy, and because WWE could snag a guy up like this, because if you think about it, who else was a huge wearing pink supporter? One of my favorite wrestling shirts I ever bought was Real Men Wear Pink from the Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there writes money. That right there tells stories, and that right there brings a familiar face that I wish he would get off of his fucking high horse and just understand that he's not meant for this world long. I'm speaking of Bret Hart, everybody, if you haven't put it together. But he needs to understand that he is loved by a lot of us out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's just some bitterness, man. Like
There
there's
is.
a lot of bitterness, and I understand that. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
also a lover of Brett, a lover of
Yeah.
Brett. So I hear you.
Imagine Kyle Fletcher honoring Bret Hart at some type of event in WWE. I know he's not a WWE guy and we want
Yeah.
him in AEW, but imagine if they got their hooks into that. I
Oh
I could
man.
I could sell tickets.
Well, listen, I listened to Kyle Fletcher on CVV the other day. Kids just got a great mind for the business at his age, and took a shot on himself. Left Australia and went to the UK so he could wrestle regularly because there wasn't a whole lot of wrestling there in Australia at the time. So he went to the UK and just went on a whim. And now look at him now. He's on TV every weekend. Like that's a well traveled kid. Like that's a well traveled kid who obviously loves what he's doing, loves wrestling, and appreciates what he is doing, and listening to him and everything that he put together as far as his journey and everything. It's been interesting. I think that somebody like Kyle Fletcher would be interesting in WWE because once again on that podcast they had said that WWE had their eye on him. So they were on he was on their radar. He just I guess there was more opportunity as far as what he wanted to do with AEW. And I think that fans are like, oh, you should go to WWE because that's the brand and that's this and that. Or if you're an AEW fan, you're like, you should go to AEW. But like what they don't understand is like travel and contract negotiations and how am I going to be booked? How am I going to be presented? All this stuff goes into it. You can't just have stars in your eyes and say, "Oh, WWE logo, let me go there." You got to be smart about how you're presenting your character if you're a real professional.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, we have clips of MJF in WWE as Samoa Joe's security,
Yep.
one of the famous things, and then now we have actual footage of MJF doing what MJF does, building his brand. Much like Kyle, I think he's building a great base for when if he decides to take a WWE contract when he goes, he says, "This is who I am. This is
Yep.
how the fans know me. This
Yep.
is what we work off." And that's a big thing in this business to have. It's a negotiation tool, a leverage, if you will, building that base, much like I assume will happen when MJF eventually comes over.
Hey, we're going to talk about that. Let's put a pin in that one here for a second because we got to jump to your number one before we get to mine. Who's yours?
Okay, so we actually had already discussed this dude in length about his father. I had to make this guy on my list because he's made himself, much like I said with Rhea Ripley, undeniable when it comes to what they can do in a ring. And it's Braun motherfucking Breaker. Look
Love
at
him.
this dude. This dude is going beyond what we expected or thought he could. He aligned himself with Paul Heyman. He is now breathing Paul Heyman's poison. This that people say.
Yeah.
He's buying into the snake oil salesman, and that's what you need to do when you want
Yeah.
to get to certain levels. I cannot tell you what ceiling Braun Breaker is up against because I do not see a ceiling for this dude. I
Mhm.
think the next 2 years, he is going to be phenomenal. He's going to have multiple title reigns at that time. He's going to be a part of big main events, and I can't wait because also he has a cousin, the other Steiner, coming up. WWE's been checking him out. He's
Yeah.
done with college football, I believe. So now this might be a really cool moment in which we seen cousin versus cousin, but part of the Steiner brothers legacy.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I'm all for Braun Breaker and what he does and what he's going to continue to do.
I agree with you. And I've said it on the show before, and I'll say it again because we're talking about him. There's not many guys that make me leave my house that I want to go and spend money to take a picture with you. Braun Breaker's one of those guys. I had to get a picture with Braun Breaker. I had to meet the dude. I got a chance to. And it's because I saw the writing on the wall that the dude's going to be a huge major star. And now it's a guy that I already think is going to be a huge major star, aligned with one of my muses, one of the guys that I follow, one of the guys that I model what I do after, and that's Paul Heyman. And you got them together, and I just know it's going to be magic because you got somebody like Paul Heyman, who is the mind behind ECW. Somebody like Paul Heyman, who's the mind behind the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. You got somebody like Paul Heyman, who's the mind behind the voice of the voiceless CM Punk, behind the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and helping contribute to one of the greatest wrestling storylines of all time. Anything that Paul Heyman touches should ideally turn into gold, and Braun Breaker, like we talked about with Theory earlier, is one of those guys that you just want to position for a huge success, and putting him in the hands of somebody like Paul Heyman is going to lead you towards that success. But of course, he's got to do the work himself. And Braun Breaker is one of the most intense figures in wrestling right now, still under 30, a lot of time ahead of him, possible next World Heavyweight Champion if he's the one to dethrone CM Punk at the 1-year anniversary of the Netflix debut for WWE Raw. It could happen sooner than what we think. The future could become the now, and that's one of the reasons why Braun Breaker is, in fact, a great pick.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, I do not see a ceiling for him. There's just so much upside to this dude. If you're out there and you passed on Braun Breaker back in the day,
you made a mistake, pal.
Yeah,
you made a mistake, pal.
You made a big mistake. All right, Howse, where are you at on your number one pick?
All right, man. I understand I may catch some flack for this because a lot of it could be the reasoning behind, as far as like what we talked about with Rhea, somebody who's already established, somebody who's already big and this and that. But I'm standing on what I'm saying because this man is somebody who was away for a while, still under 30, doesn't turn 30 until March 15th of this upcoming year. And he's been jumped into an AEW division that is, AEW is making some great plays right now. And I think somebody who's going to help shed light on that. And for that reason, I can see another big major run for my number one on this pick. And that's MJF. Maxwell Jacob Friedman just returned on this Wednesday's Dynamite, already into an established group, a fatal four-way at World's End that's going to involve Samoa Joe as the champion, that's going to involve Hangman Adam Page, and that's going to involve Swerve Strickland, who are now the pillars of the AEW main event scene of their division. And I'll say this, I don't think there's a lot of scenarios that's out there that has Samoa Joe retaining, but I do think that MJF will get the Triple B once again, become champion once again, help shed light on what's already happened, and that's what AEW needs right now. AEW's got a lot of good things moving right now, so now you need more eyes checking out what they're doing. I just think that's the right move. MJF, who's already wrestled, he's not even, it's just, once again, it's similar to Rhea Ripley, but it's a little bit different because this is a dude who is under 30 still, but feels like he's been wrestling for a lifetime. I mean, everything as far as I'm better than you and you know it, saying fire me, you fucking mark, to Tony Khan. The matches he had with Darby Allin, his feuds with CM Punk, 60-minute Iron Man matches with Bryan Danielson that really silenced the doubters as far as his wrestling ability. Winning the AEW World Title at Full Gear 2022, everything that he's done with all the people that he's done it with, and he's still under 30. It's crazy to think that as huge as this guy is, I mean, you think about, I'm not saying he's like this in a way of character or anything, but when you think about WCW and who held up WCW as an original before anybody else made the jump or anything like that, you think of Sting. And that's what I think of as far as MJF. He's one of the most successful AEW originals that never touched the WWE ring, even though he'll hint to it all the time. He'll let you know, like, hey, I could just go to WWE and I could just make more money here and this and that. But I'm doing it. I just love the fact that he's not even 30 yet. He's already had a legendary career, and he still has more career ahead of him than he has behind him. Maxwell Jacob Friedman has potential to be in rarefied air in the realm of professional wrestling.
No, you are 100% spitting facts about MJF. He is our scumbag, and
Yep.
I cannot wait for the next chapter, the next page, whatever's in the MJF saga, because he's somebody who keeps me entertained, especially with an AEW logo with him. Do I want him in WWE? Most definitely, because I think he would fit perfectly in WWE, especially where they're at on their platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Raw, he would be so good on Netflix.
Oh God, yes,
Um,
perfect on Netflix, perfect.
but he's with AEW and he's very loyal to them right now, and you got to respect that. I like the idea of you saying with him and Sting, liking him to Sting, because there is a comparison there when you break down the pillars of each promotion, and MJF is one of them. I love the fact that when I could go back to some of the Collision shows I covered, and I would hype up MJF, and people would be like, "Oh, this guy's a joke. This guy can't wrestle. We don't even see him in a ring." And I'm like, that's because you got to bottle up greatness. You don't just let
Yep.
greatness be out there all the time. And
Mhm.
now greatness is spilling over out all the time. He's fresh back from his time off. I know I had some critiques earlier about saying that I'm not confident with AEW because the last return they really fumbled with him.
Yep. Yep.
I'm also buying a ticket into this, so I'm willing to watch this because he's back around Samoa Joe, he's around Swerve, and he's around Adam. I'm not a big Page fan, but
Sure.
I
Sure.
understand. I understand people's liking of him, but again, where we're at, MJF, great pick. He's phenomenal. I just love this dude's career. Everything he
Yeah.
does. I love his trolling. I love his just being him. And when you're uniquely you and you make me like that, I'm a fan for life.
Yeah, you get it, man. I'm totally with you. There's not many guys like Maxwell Jacob Friedman. There's not many out there like him, man. We were just having that conversation about Javonna Evans and how it's somebody that walks to the beat of his own drum and does it really well and puts on great matches. We're seeing it, man. It's beautiful to see in real time professional wrestling move generations, bro. Like, we're
Yeah.
seeing it happen in real time. I just think it's cool. Like, I remember when we were younger, it was like, oh man, why won't you push CM Punk? They keep going with John Cena all the time, but CM Punk is so good. He's so awesome. You had to, oh, why won't they push Bryan Danielson? Oh, why don't they sign El Generico, Kevin Steen? I remember those days. I remember those days, and then watching it turn over, and now we're in another time period, bro, where the talent is turning over again, and it's just watching generations change and watching legends end and watching stories begin. It's such a beautiful point where we're at in professional wrestling right now, where we're seeing those stories end and new stories begin.
No, you're 100%. It's like what we talk about when we discuss women's wrestling, how we wanted it to be different when we were younger, and
Yeah.
now it is what we expected, and it's doing
Yeah.
amazing. Their tag divisions fucking on so much fire right now across all
Yeah.
promotions.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we get to witness in real time um, these young up and comers actually making big footprints, and
Yeah.
Javon Evans, he's one of them that is just I am so lucky right now in the world of wrestling to witness him. Much like MJF, I'm so lucky to have
Yeah.
found him one day on watching a clip. So it does give me it gives me hope. And, anybody out there doing what we do, if you actually sit back and look at it, wrestling today, there's really truly not much to complain about from back when we were younger. They're not doing the degrading women shit. They're not doing any of that stuff. People of different backgrounds are getting more opportunities. And say what you want. If you want to live in the vial of woe is me and why didn't they do this? That's fine. That's your choice, and I love you for that. But me, I'm going to move with the waters. I'm going to be water. And right now, WWE, TNA, AEW, all of them, even MLW, you guys are all doing fantastic work. And I, as a fan, just want to say I truly appreciate all of you out there doing what you do, all you entertainers putting your lives on the line. Because right now, wrestling, this is the golden era of wrestling. You're gonna love it. I love it. You should love it. It is perfect.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I enjoy seeing so many companies. They bought into wrestling. So be wrestling. That's what I'm loving Theory as the match. My guy Carmelo Hayes, who we've called for as the U.S. champion, becoming a U.S. champion. I love MJF back in the mix to help catapult AEW to a point where they need to be at because they're ready to be there. I love women's tag team wrestling. I love professional wrestling. It's in a good spot right now, and that just seems like a perfect opportunity to give my man here an opportunity to plug anything he wants to plug, anywhere they can find him at. Voice, we're appreciating the ride right now, like so many fans in wrestling refuse to do. Where can they catch you in the vibe that you put out there, bro?
All right, so fans, if you're ready to see more of this, you can catch me and Kevin Calloway. He's our Chaos Goblin on Tuesday, where we talk Monday Night Raw. What you're about to watch tomorrow night is what we're about to fucking discuss. And we invite you to come along and join the journey because it's filled with chaos goblins and mechanical elves and just a whole lot of fun. But we invite you. That is on Mondays at 6 p.m. Me and Kevin, we have moved the date. We have moved the time because it fits our schedule. That's what we do here. We work as brothers and sisters. Here we are doing IYH things. So you guys know we're on a bit of a break from certain shows. ECW Watch Along is one of them. When we get back to it, though, I know I keep saying this, but I want to keep you like, ooh, when are you going to give it to me, Daddy?
Yep.
Because it's going to be epic. It's one of my favorites. It's going to be Mikey Whipwreck and Tajiri in a fatal four-way match. Who else is in that match? I've kept you long enough. It's going to be Little Guido, and I'm still not going to give you that other guy, but you're going to have to fucking look it up. You could find it. It's Heatwave. It's, I think, 2000. You'll enjoy the four-way dance. Why don't you go watch it before we watch it so we can
and then watch it with us again?
Exactly. And you'll be educated, and we might even bring you on the show. You never know what the fuck we do over there, but that is Wednesdays at 6 p.m. when we get back to it. And it, you know what? You're only a few more weeks out from that, so just sit the fuck tight. But we do have a weekly show like we do here. It's the AEW Dynamite show. Dynamite. Yeah, we're talking it. We talk AEW Dynamite. That's a show where me and Howse, we come on there, and like you seen last week, we had OG Tony. He joined us.
Great guest.
Fantastic guest. One of the best that we've had. He was one of the most knowledgeable about what we were talking about, and he really gave his own personal insight, and we loved it. It fit right into us. And usually you can see him in our chats, but he obviously had some fucking grandpa shit to do, so that's what he did.
He's taking a nap.
Exactly. He took a nap. So join me and Howse on that. That is Thursdays at 6 p.m. where we talk AEW Dynamite, and it's a fun time. So I've been, I don't know if you follow me out there on social medias, but I am starting the conspiracy stuff up again. Look,
yes,
people have things going on, and I understand that. That is me. That is what I understand, but I know what my plans are. And I'm not saying conspiracies that sees over, but right now what we're going into, and you can credit my wife for this title, but we are going into a new show on Saturdays. It's called Into the Voice Static. That is where I talk about all the fun shit I like that keeps me entertained outside of wrestling. Conspiracies. Are people trying to take over the world? Are AI robots really trying to eat our souls and become one of us? Who knows? But we can find out together down the rabbit hole. That's me, the voice, and that's a Saturday, usually at 8 p.m. That all depends on what my wife has me doing. So go flood her, tell her, don't give Josh anything on Saturdays so we can hear what he has to say. And I would love you for it. So for me, for IYH, thank you for absorbing all the content that we do. We truly appreciate you guys and truly love you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, Feliz Navidad, whatever the hell you celebrate. I'm here with you. You got a voice in your corner, and it's me, Joshua Joseph.
Well said by my man, producer of the show, Josh Joseph. And guys, you already know with me, December, taking it in a little bit slow motion. But we're ramping things up in January, man. I know next week we have our end of year episode that we're going to do. That should be a fun one. Hoping to get some familiar faces on the show to come and join us on a Sunday to talk about the year of wrestling, review it, talk about it, all the big major moments in wrestling. I want to talk about it on next week's Sunday House Party, our year-end episode. But yeah, man, like my man Voice said, and you probably won't hear from me before then. We're jumping into the end of the holiday season here, or going into the holiday season as far as Christmas goes. But yeah, man, Merry Christmas to you and your whole family, you know, and thanks for joining us in what we do. This is just a crazy thing that I do with my homies. We talk wrestling. We have great followers that come and join us, and a lot has came from it. So I thank you. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family, and just make it special. So for the Voice, Josh Joseph, and the whole team here at In Your House, giving y'all that work as we do, I'm Alakon the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Click the QR code.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Prophecy in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.